Welcome to Guayaquil, Ecuador, venue of the 14th IPSC World Shoot. Over 900 shooters from more than 50 nations made the trip to South America to compete at this important event. Hi, I'm Saul Kirsch of Double Alpha Academy, and over the next few hours I will share with you the experience of this spectacular competition. We have multiple camera angles on most stages, and we try to include footage of all the various divisions of our sport. We'll follow the top squads in open, standard, production, modified and revolver, as well as look in on some of the other squads in the match. I'll talk you through the tactics and share with you the challenges facing the competitors. So sit back and enjoy this Double Alpha Academy production of the 14th IPSC World Shoot from Guayaquil, Ecuador.
Are you ready? Stand by!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 14th World Shoot Ecuador 2005. Guayaquil, the Pacific Pearl, is pleased to be your host during this international tournament. First,
as always, I wish all competitors clear front sights, crisp triggers, and abundant ammunition. I wish good luck to you all, and I now hereby declare the opening of World Shoot 14. Good luck to you all.
Ríos de paisaje ideal, nací en ella y la quiero, y por ella aunque muera, la vida yo la diera por no verla sufrir. Guayaquileño, madre, paraíso de manglares y palmeras, un río imponente cuya fuerza es poderosa. Si bien es cierto que hay un fuego en lo que digo, nada hay perfecto sobre el ojo de esta tierra. Para mis ojos no hay parajes más divinos donde forjar mis sueños.
Stage 1 was a straightforward 9-round speed shoot, 1 paper target and 7 steel targets about 15 meters out. There were 4 mini steel and 3 full-size steel, middle of which was not completely visible. First up is Brodie McIntosh from Australia. And great shooting from young Chris Tilley, who was off to an excellent start, winning this first stage with that impressive run.
Stand by.
Nice shooting from Todd. Let's check in with some of the top production shooters on the stage. Stage 2 was also a 9-round stage, but it was more complex. The left steel activated the swinger on the right, and in the middle are 2 steel overlapping. Choosing the right sequence here was critical.
Stand by.
The key to a successful run on a stage like this is to reach the swinger just at the correct time. Ideally, you'd like to engage the swinger when it's in its outmost position, hardly moving.
Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Wow, an excellent run by Todd. A good time and dropping only 1 point, and that would be a stage win.
Finish and are you ready? Stand by.
No big IPSC match could hope to succeed without the dedicated work of the range officers. We had a chance to speak to some of the more experienced range officers and ask them how the selection was done for a match like this.
Well, the processes that people apply to work the match, obviously we need a relatively objective mix of all the various regions, and so we try to select the best of the best and fit a few rookies in.
And all this hard work is mostly done voluntary. What motivates you to do it?
I really don't know. Sometimes my wife asks me, why are you doing this? And I say, I must be crazy.
But it must be fun as well.
It is great fun. It's the camaraderie when you're here. Meeting these guys. Only yesterday I said to somebody, do you know that I see you more often than my best friends?
It's the kind of thing you cannot really explain. You take 3 weeks of your annual leave off, leaving home and children, spending a lot of money coming here. You got a reimbursement on part of travel expenses, but it's the feeling of pulling a shoot like this together with buddies from all over the world. It's a feeling of camaraderie, friendship. Well, we're around quite some time, as you know. People you have met a year or 2 years ago, you've worked together, you see it again here. Shooters from all over the world, smiley faces, people paying big bucks to come here. And we want to have them a good time and to get them the best match possible.
stage 3, things got a lot more interesting. Shooting from the right side of the barricade, the back steel activated the swinger, which was later visible through the middle port. You can see there 2 steels overlapping. One swinger on the right now becomes visible. There was another one on the left, and that one is activated by shooting targets from the left side of the barricade here. Coming into the left, one target on the move. The back of these 3 steel activates the second swinger. Multiple options on this stage, and you'll get a better view from behind the gun watching the hat cam.
If you are finished and load. Are you ready? Stand by. Ready. Stand by. If you are finished, load and shoot. Stand by. If you are finished, unload and shoot the stand by.
Let's take another look at Max's run and superimpose him with JJ to compare their styles. Max chose to shoot more targets in the middle, so JJ seemed to get ahead, but at the end their times were almost equal.
Are you ready? Stand by. Finish and load and show.
Stage 4 was a simple, straightforward stage with 8 rounds, distances from 15 to 25 meters. The shooter had to pick up his empty gun, load, and then engage these 4 targets through the window. The furthest targets had no shoot covering most of the A zone, so those were pretty tight shots. High risk stage by any standard.
If you are finished and loading something.
Of course, the key to success on a stage like this is to get a good fast load and not to fire any extra shots, especially at those no-shoot targets. Stage 5 was the first big stage of Area 1. The shooter started facing uprange, turned, engaged from around the side of the barricade 2 targets. Through the first port, 1 close steel, and then the 2 long-distance paper and the steel were optional from here as well. From this position, sprinting downrange 15 meters or so, and coming in on this close target by the barricade, those 2 long-distance targets are now closer and can be engaged from here. Coming across the port, 2 open targets, reasonably close, and then at the end position, 2 mid-range targets, 2 small mini steel, and a close target to finish up 24 rounds of Stage 5. Next up is Chris Tilley, who was shooting an inspired match and was up there with the leaders. Chris has become one of the best technical shooters in the game, and that excellent run gave him another stage win. Another excellent technical shooter and a very experienced competitor is Eddie Testa from France. A couple of extra shots there from Eddie on the mini steel cost him some time, but only 3 points down on the stage. Nice shooting from Errol, and next up is one of the fastest people in the open division today, Jay Jerikazen. You can always count on him to be up there when the stage requires a lot of moving. Okay, now we've watched some of the best open shooters in the match. Let's check out some of the revolver shooters. These guys are those who work the hardest in the match, as revolver shooting is by far more tactical because of all the reloads. We had a chance to speak to Bjorn Dittrich from the Netherlands, one of the top revolver shooters in the match, and ask him why he decided to shoot revolver of all divisions.
Oh, well, that's kind of a funny story. I just liked IPSC very much. I was shooting steel plates at the time, and I needed a good gun to get me into IPSC, and they just started with revolver division, and a guy in my club, he sold his revolver for like $200, so I bought that one. And I actually won the Europeans with that same gun, so it's kind of funny.
Is that the same gun you're shooting
yeah.
this match as well?
No, it's totally worn out, and I dry fire too much. So the timing is all off. It's horrible now.
So I imagine that your goal for this match would be to try and finally have somebody beat Jerry Mikulik.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you think you can do it?
Yeah. Well, maybe. It all depends. We have 3 more days to go, and I just have to shoot real steady, just get my alphas, and then maybe we'll see.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you prepared for this match?
Well, lots of dry fire, of course. Reloading with a revolver is one of the more important skills when you're shooting a revolver, so lots of dry fire reloads.
What kind of splits are you getting on your reload?
Well, they're all, I think, 1.6 consistently at about 5 yards. And, well, I actually pulled a 1.2 this year, so
1.2 on the
yeah, that was kind of cool.
Well, good luck the rest of the match.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Stage 6 was the big stage of Area 1, built up on a ramp. Very interesting and tactical stage. From the starting position, draw the gun and shoot 2 close targets to this port. Moving forward and going down to a kneeling position, you had a choice of how deep to this window you wanted to come. If you came all the way in, you could shoot 2 steel and 3 papers, otherwise you could shoot just the 2 papers and the steel. In which case, in the next window, you could shoot just the 1 target. If you didn't go in deep previously, you could shoot the steel and paper there. Reload here for most shooters, and coming into the next port, another close target by your feet, and then 3 targets and the swinger, which was visible in both the previous ports as well. Moving down the ramp, possible reload here, coming into the last shooting position, target on the right, 2 overlapping steels, and a double swinger, targets appearing from both sides of that no-shoot, and the steel black hardcover below. You can join me behind the gun for a better view of the action. As you could see, I chose to go deep in the first port, and in retrospect that probably cost more time than it saved. JJ chose to stay back from that window, saving time on the transition but leaving more targets to shoot on the second port. The double swinger prop was new for most shooters. Few of us had seen it before, and the way to shoot this was just to wait on one side and engage the targets as they came across. But they were too fast to get 2 hits on, so you really had to spend a lot of time shooting it. We had a chance to catch up with the production Super Squad on this stage as well. Next up is Dave Savigny with his Glock. Those double swingers were particularly difficult with steel sights, as the sights get in the way and cover up the target as you're trying to shoot it. Next up is Angus Hobdell shooting for CZ. X7 was without a doubt one of the more tactical stages of the match. This was just one option of shooting it. First moving to the right for the close partial target, the long distance 2 targets in the middle there, and 1 target close on your left while moving out and running to the left side of the range. Coming in on the left, more or less symmetrical, an open target to your left. Up front you could choose to shoot 3 or 2 targets, had to shoot that popper and then the close target. Reload comes here, cuts the stage in half, and moving down to the middle, targets on the left again visible. In the middle section of the range, the steel, which you can see over the nose shoot, activates the swinger on the right. The swinger on the left has already been activated by the long distance steel, and then targets again visible on the right hand side here. This stage offered multiple solutions, and we can get behind the hat cam to watch just one of them.
Finish now, load the short spear, clear, hammer down, hold.
Finish, clear, hammer down, hold.
Louise chose to shoot the whole stage long distance from the back. This of course was much more difficult, but could save some time. Todd Jarrett chose to do the same in the open squad. 8, the shooter's gun lay with a magazine inserted but empty chamber on the table. All extra magazines here as well. 2 steel and 3 paper target, partial, visible through the first window. At the second position, 3 partial targets and those steel are available again. Moving down the line forward, 3 targets visible, but the third one is visible again later on, so 2 can be shot from here, and then in the final position coming in all the way through the gap for 3 open targets and that 1 partial. The stage was 26 rounds, and for the open guns the way to save time was to shoot the stage with 1 magazine only, thus by saving the time of the reload by the table, but that didn't leave you many extra shots.
Finish, from launch show clear. When it's clear, hammer down. Ready? Tama.
A good run from Eli, who shot open class in the pre-match, but changing that magazine in the start position cost him well over a second. On stage 9, the steel activated 2 swingers which came out from behind the barricade, and the key was to find the sequence so you didn't have to wait for them.
Stand by!
I just didn't have enough time for both hits on that swinger, so I had to come back. Here we catch up with the modified Super Squad.
Reload. Safety enforcement. Stand by. Reload. Are you ready? Hey. Stand by. Stand by. Reload. Are you ready? Stand by. Reload. 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 Stand by. Reload. Stand by.
Nice shooting by Italian Roberto, but the stage win would go to this man. A nice clean run and dropping only 1 point. Stage 10 was a well-constructed medium shoot. In the start position, 3 targets were visible, but the back 2 targets were visible again from the left window and once more in the last position, so you could choose to engage those anywhere. The choice here was whether to shoot from the start position or first move and then stop again in the middle for that 1 target. Join me behind the gun for a run on this stage. And now let's watch the top modified squad engage the stage. Great shooting again from Roberto, who dropped 0 points on that run, but the stage win would go to Nelson from the Philippines. Tough break there for Jeffro. That malfunction cost him almost 5 seconds.
Stand by. You finished. It's okay. You can clear. Hammer down.
Stage 11 was another 9-round speed shoot. The steel activated the drop turner, and there was enough time for at least one target before shooting that. Leaning out to the left around these no-shoots enabled you to shoot the whole stage from one side. Or the option was to shoot from both sides. A little more comfortable, but you paid for the transition, with probably at least 1 second. I chose to shoot 2 targets there before the drop turner, and that almost cost me because I just barely made it in time before it closed.
Are you ready? Stand by. Reload. Stand by. Bravo, Giorgio. Finish. Stand by. Finish. Reload and holster. Stand by.
The shorter shooters had to stretch a lot more to get to all the targets around the left side of the no-shoots, but it was still worth doing. Well done there by Nelson. And you can just see there how much easier it is for the bigger guys to shoot around these no-shoot targets. Sometimes there's an advantage to being tall.
Are you ready? Stand by. Reload and holster. Ready. Stand by.
stage 12, the left steel activated the flipping target which came up behind the no-shoot, and there were additional 2 plates, steel and a partial. It was just enough time to shoot all the way across, but you had to get it just right.
Stand by! $350. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down. Hold. Come by! Come by! Are you ready? Stand by!
I was one of the few who shot all the targets before the flipper, and shooting all A's won me the stage.
Stand by!
Stage 13 was the big stage of Area 3. The shooter began facing these 4 close-range targets which were shot on the move. The reload could be done here for the open guns, leaving 24 rounds. From this port here, 2 long-distance targets and mini-steels, and then 2 more closer targets which could be shot first or last in that port. Coming into the right-hand port, 4 mid to close-range targets, and then finishing up in the middle, 3 mid-range targets with a no-shoot. There was the option of shooting this position before the window on the right as well. Both options were equally good. Here's the view from the hat cam of stage 13.
You're finished. Load and show clear. It's clear. Yes, sir. Bye.
Another impressive run from Todd Jarrett, who was shooting a solid match and was up there with the leaders. We asked him what he thought about the match.
Well, I think, the problem is with an open class, we almost need to have an open championship now, where we've got all our classes, production and standard and open all in one. And the match, in my opinion, may be just a little bit too easy for open gun guys. I'd like to see a little bit tougher. But it's a great match, don't get me wrong. I like the props, where the setup is. It's very clean. The R's are doing a great job. It's a good match all the way around.
Can you tell me something about the equipment you're using today?
Well, I'm shooting a pair ordnance gun, which I have been since 1990. And I'm also shooting for Blackhawk, and I'm trying to use their gear. I've been using a CR Speed holster here for the match because we haven't built one yet. But of course, Seymour I've been with for many years. I'm using international cartridge ammo, which is a new frangible ammo that we're shooting. And of course, the Seymour gear I've been used for years. Been around for 23 years now.
Still works.
So yeah, it still works. Stay with it.
We return to the action on stage 13 to watch the current US champion, Max Michel. Well, Max was not happy with that run. He lost time on one of those mini steals in the second port. Next up is me, Sol Kirsch from Israel, and I'll combine the hat cam for a better view. Chris there choosing to shoot through the doorway in the middle before reaching the window on the right. A little bit more technically difficult, but saves some time on transition. Now the advantage, of course, of shooting the doorway first was that you didn't have to step back out of the window, but the transition to that doorway was more difficult this way. And here's yet another solution shot by Eddie Tester, shooting one target through the doorway, then the window, and then turning to shoot the last two targets in the doorway without having to move too much. Pretty good idea as well.
Orange is clear.
Stage 14 was a 9-round speed shoot. Stepping to the left revealed a full-size popper and 2 open targets. The popper activated the swinger, which was visible here in the next port, and there were 2 more full-size poppers. This stage was sponsored by CR Speed. We spoke to Franco about sponsoring matches.
Something you have to do if you're in business of producing top-of-the-line accessories for competition shooters. You need to be involved, see what's going on, see what your competitors are doing, get feedback from the shooters that are using your products, and you have to be committed to improving the breed, improving your products.
So what is new in the CR Speed line for this year?
Currently, as we always do, we always try and bring out new products. Our latest innovation is basically we've brought out the WSM World Shoot Model 2 holster, and essentially, other than the logo, what we've done is we've got the platform, the CR Speed platform that a lot of people have been asking for a long time, and that's how the holster comes out now, standard with the platform. So, and it's fully adjustable for height and other aspects as well.
So you spend a lot of money though on sponsoring these shooters. You find that's the way to go? Promoting your product?
It's something we always, from day one, decided to do is get involved with the top shooters, because they're the guys who are influential and can tell you which way your product's going in terms of is this a good feature or not. And that is the way we've always done it, and we're very, very fortunate as a company to have the top shooters in the world using our products, and I must add, but also they're nice people.
Back to the action to watch the stage from the hatch.
Are you ready? Stand by!
That swinger was moving, and it was 15 meters away or so. Getting 2 hits in one pass was not easy, but you needed to do that to be competitive in open. Another excellent run from Todd Jarrett. But check out this performance by Max Michel. That was probably a 13 or 14 split on a 15-meter swinger, and he dropped only 1 point. That would be a stage win for Max. Those extra shots will cost JJ some points. With a hit factor up over 10, every 10th of a second is worth more than 1 point. So you really can't afford to drop any time.
Are you ready? Stand by.
You could see and hear that hit going in the steel in front of the swinger, and JoJo was very quick to pick up the extra shot, but the 2 Ds on the stage will still cost him some points.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by.
Stage 15 was a simple 8-round speed shoot, but very high risk. You couldn't see much of those targets above the nose.
Ready? Stand by. Stand by. Hey, well done. If clear, hammer down, holster. Stand by.
Oh, that's going to cost Todd, and he knows it. Not only a long time on the stage, but a no-shoot on such a small stage will really cost a lot of points. Well, Max was not happy with that run, but at least he shot his points, so the damage was not too great. Now, excellent shooting from JJ. 412 was one of the best times on the stage and dropped only 1 point. Chris chose to move a little forward and to the right to get a better view of the left target, but he still clipped it and scored the no-shoot. Next up is JoJo. Couple of extra shots there cost Errol some time, and of course you want to try and avoid shooting extra shots at such partial targets. It's always risky. A good run with full points, but that one extra shot on the steel cost me the stage win. Stage 16 was designed as a strong hand stage, but few shooters shot more than 2 or 3 rounds strong hand. Coming on the right, you could choose to engage 1 target and a steel, or 2 targets and 2 steels, and then leaning on the left side of the barricade you could engage the rest of the targets. You had to keep your feet within the confinements of a rather small shooting box, but you could lean out against the side barricade and then shoot freestyle. But the setup was not easy, and you had to keep holding a rope in your hands while shooting. So there were options, and some did choose to shoot strong hand only.
Ready, stand by.
Max choosing there to shoot only the 1 target, strong hand from the right side, and then everything else freestyle on the left. Crashing into that side barricade there while keeping your feet in the box could be a painful experience. It was a difficult shooting position, to say the least.
You finish and load and show clear. Ready, stand by. Finish and load and show clear. Show clear. Clear, hammer down, holster. Stand by. You finish and load and show. Ready. Stand by. Finish and load and show clear. Stand by.
Great strong hand shooting there from David Soldini of Australia, putting up the stage-winning performance and doing it strong hand only.
Show clear.
Just as I was about to shoot my last target there, my mag pouch slipped off the corner of the barricade and caused me extra shots. Stage 17 was a fast medium course. From the right position, 3 targets and a steel, distances from about 2 meters to 10, and then from the left opening, 4 more targets and 1 plate, distances again from 1 to 10 meters. A fast stage, but did require some control and accuracy.
If you finish, reload.
Great shooting there by Angus Hobdell, shooting for the production team of CZ USA. Next up is Max Michel. The choice to be made on the stage was whether to go left or right first. It really didn't make much difference as it was symmetrical. It was more of a personal preference. We've watched some good shooting on this stage 17, but here comes the stage win by Eddie Testa. Smooth and efficient, and dropping only 1 point. That always contributes to winning stages. I had to go back there for that one extra shot on the plate, and that was probably a 0.4 transition. That's just too much time to give away on a small stage. Stage 18 was another 26 round stage, very tempting for the open guns to shoot with one mag. 3 close targets from the starting position on the move. Moving forward to the shooting port on the left, one could engage the steel here or later on. In this window, 1 close open target, a very partial target, 3 steel, one of which activated another one of those double swingers, 1/2 of which could be shot from here, but it was more visible in the last position. Coming into this window here for 3 mid-range open targets, the steel can be shot here or before, and then these 2 last swingers. They were about 15 meters out and they were challenging. Here's the view from the hat cam.
Stand by! If you finish on load and show clear. Guns clear, hammer down. Come on! Guns clear, hammer down, holster. Come on!
Nice shooting there from both Chris and JJ. Let's take another look at this run and overlap the two of them to compare their tactics. They were very close most of the way and shot the same tactics, but JJ lost some time knocking the gun on the frame of the window on the left port.
Finish and load and show clear. Guns clear, hammer down, holster. Come on! Finish and load and show clear. Guns clear, hammer down. Come on! You finish and load and show clear. Come on! Load and show clear. Guns clear. Hammer down. Holster. Range is clear. Tight. Come on.
super run there from Eddie. Shooting the steel before reaching the right port saved him some time, and he put up a really good score. I was up next, and here's the hat cam combined. That was a good run, but as you could see, I had nothing to shoot at when I reached the swingers. I had to wait for them to come out, and that cost me a good half a second. Bad luck, I guess.
Hammer down, holster. Come on!
An amazing run by Max, cutting a second and a half off everybody's time and winning the stage even with that miss on the final swinger. Let's look at that again combined with Todd's run. You can see that Max made up his time by shooting that steel on the move and by shooting 2 on the swingers without waiting. This traditional fight/dance performance was put on the range and drew a lot of attention. It was very impressive to watch. I leave you now with these scenes and we continue the shooting on disc number 2.